Hello, my name is Erin Mayer. I am one of the science teachers at Casey Middle School. I wanted to put together a video this year prior to back to school night, which is Wednesday, August 31st, just to give you a little insight and background knowledge about our science classroom. Before I move into that, though, I do want to point out that my contact information is in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, so feel free to email me, call me, text me at any point throughout the year if you have any questions or comments. So this will be my 16th year of teaching science, my first year at Casey Middle School. I'm really thrilled to be a part of the Casey community. I'm looking forward to a great year. I really think I have one of the best careers out there because I get to follow and work with my two passions every single day. The first passion is science. So I have loved science for as long as I can remember, and I am thrilled to have the opportunity to share that love of science, share that passion for science with your children this year. My second passion is really helping figure out how to help kids learn and how to help kids make sense of content and really develop deep knowledge about particular topics. So our classroom is organized a little bit differently than perhaps your typical classroom. I have a self-paced classroom. This is something that I've been doing for about 4 years now. The idea behind a self-paced classroom is that I would like to acknowledge that learning is messy and learning looks different from student to student. And self-pacing the learning really helps me do that. So we start off every single unit with a series of learning goals, learning objectives, learning targets that we're working towards through the entire unit. How kids meet those learning goals and learning targets looks different from student to student based on their strengths and based on their background. I have a lot of choice embedded within these self-paced units. So children get to decide what is the best way for them to show me that they really have deep understanding of the ideas and the concepts that we are working towards. Self-paced allows me to personalize learning. Everyone learns at a slightly different pace. So if I have a kid that is really strong in a particular topic and they can demonstrate that understanding, then they can continue on. They don't have to wait for everybody else. If I have a learner who needs a little bit of extra time, a little bit of extra help to really gain that deep knowledge of a concept, self-pacing allows for them to have that time. What I found in the years of implementing self-paced learning is that this philosophy really allows students to own their learning. They're in charge of what they're doing. They're in charge of demonstrating that they understand and in charge of demonstrating how they understand the concepts and ideas that we're covering. So I just want to make sure and emphasize that our primary goal in this self-paced classroom is really to help every single student in my classroom gain deep knowledge, deep understanding of the concepts that we are working on. I also use a lot of problem-based learning in the classroom. So problem-based learning really starts with an authentic and relevant problem that is found in the community, outside of Casey Middle School or within Casey Middle School. So what we do is we find these relevant and authentic problems and we apply the skills and the content that we're learning in science class to those problems to try to come up with some reliable and relevant solutions to those problems. Problem-based learning really allows kids to demonstrate their understandings in a very authentic way. It asks them to defend their ideas and to defend their thinking. And finally, it gives them the opportunity to defend those ideas and those thought processes to a public audience. So you can keep an eye out for emails and or notes in our weekly grade level emails that get sent out asking for volunteers to come in and be a part of these public audiences. Within self-paced learning, within problem-based learning, and within just learning in general, failure is just a part of it. So failure is what sometimes happens on that path to learning. And I just want to acknowledge that up front. I have high expectations for your children, and sometimes things won't go exactly how they want to the first time around, and that's totally fine, and that's part of that learning process. To acknowledge that learning is messy and failure is part of that, I allow kids to revise anything that they want to throughout the year as many times as they would like to, just so that, again, we are focusing on the understanding at the end of the day. I would like to finish just sharing a couple resources that you can use as parents from the home front. First of all, I do have a classroom Twitter account. The handle for that account is in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, so Mayor_Science. I take a lot of pictures throughout the class day, and I post those to that account, so you can kind of get a bird's eye view into the classroom and see what we're working on any given day. We also use a tool called Schoology in this classroom. And Schoology really is a hub for a lot of what we do in the classroom. This is an online tool. You can access it via the internet. You can access it. There's an app as well for it. I have included a tutorial link in the bottom left-hand corner. So feel free at any time to go to that link or scan that URL code, and that will walk you through the steps of how to access Schoology as a parent, because it actually is a wonderful tool for parents too. You will have access to all the resources that the kids have access to. You will be able to see your students' work. You will be able to see my comments on your students' work, so you can support them from home using the tool for Schoology. And I will send out more information about Schoology as we get a little bit further into the year as well. I want to emphasize too that back to school night is next Wednesday, and I would love to get the chance to meet as many of you as possible. So I very much encourage you to come and join us at Casey from 6 to 8:30. I just want to end by saying I am thrilled again to have the opportunity to work with your students this year, and I am looking forward to an absolutely fabulous year. Thanks for taking a few minutes to watch this video, and I hope to see you soon.